Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you do decide to subscribe and join my little family that I have here on YouTube. I do have a Patreon as well if you do want to go and check me out over there. The link will be in the description box below. So today we are discussing the disappearance of Georgina Gharsallah. Now, I have been talking to her mum about this disappearance because a friend of the family actually reached out to me and asked if I could cover Georgina's case in my Where Are You series, and that is what I'm going to be doing today. Georgina's mum has just so much courage to be on this video with me as well. She just wants to raise as much awareness as possible for her daughter's disappearance, and I strongly urge you to share this video and get Georgina's face out there. Now, if you don't want to share the video, there will be links to missing people's posters in the description box, or you can screenshot a missing people's poster from this video and please share them so we can get Georgina's face all around the UK. So let's jump right into today's case. So Georgina is 31 years old and she is from Worthing in England. She is a very trustworthy person, she is always chatty and she's very sociable, and she was 30 years old at the time of her disappearance. She could be considered as a vulnerable person as she was so caring. She would stop to talk to anybody and she would help anybody if she could. She also suffered with mental health issues, and despite her being so approachable and chatty, she did suffer with social anxiety. She loved to cook for everybody and she was very organised. She would plan everything. She would plan her days in advance. She would plan what she was going to do, who she would do it with and where she would go. And she also has 2 children who she loves so much. Georgina was last seen on the 7th of March 2018 in her hometown of Worthing. She was planning on buying a new SIM card for her phone and then attending the job centre. She was reported missing on the 17th of March by her family. Georgina's mother, Andrea, believed that Georgina was possibly staying at a former boyfriend's home. Andrea had sent her text messages, but she wasn't too alarmed when she didn't get any replies. She assumed that Georgina just wanted time for herself and time to make things right with her boyfriend. Georgina's former boyfriend actually contacted Andrea about 6 days after she was last seen to ask if Andrea had seen Georgina. And this is when Andrea became concerned. She started to message Georgina's Facebook friends to try and see if anybody had seen her. But when nobody had said they'd seen her, she decided to call the police and report her as missing. Georgina is 5'4", she is of a slim build, she has brown shoulder length hair, which she sometimes had in a bun. She also had a facial piercing above her lip on the left side of her face. She is half English and half Libyan. She sometimes spoke Arabic, but she wasn't fluent, and her main language was English. She was last seen on CCTV in Clifton Food and Wine Store on Clifton Road in Worthing.
I'm Georgina Gharsallah's mum, Andrea. I'd like to talk to you about my missing daughter Georgina. Georgina was 30 when she was last seen on the morning of the 7th of March 2018, when I left my house to go to work. Georgina was still here, but she was later seen between 9:30 and 10:30 that morning at a local shop called Clifton Road Stores, where she was looking at SIM cards for either one of the phones she had, one being her own, which wasn't working properly, and the one that I'd given her to use, which also didn't have a SIM card. She spoke to the shopkeeper, who advised her to go to a mobile phone shop in town. Later on, the mobile phone shops were all spoken to, and none of them had said they'd seen her or remembered seeing her, and none of them had any CCTV.
There was a misconception about how many phones that Georgia had on her person. People assumed that she had pulled out multiple phones in the shop, but in fact she only had two. One of these phones was her own, which was broken, and the second phone was an old one of her mother's that she was using, and this was a phone that she needed to get a SIM card for and to activate the SIM card. And until she got that SIM card activated, she had no way of contacting anybody. Despite her phone not being in use, it was still pinging her location. The last mass ping on Georgina's phone was to a mast in Broadwater College area, and this was around 7:45 AM on the 7th of March. This phone mast is the mast that covered Georgina's mother's home. Since Georgina was last seen, there has been no bank activity. She hasn't contacted anybody, whether that be through social media or by text message. And she hasn't been located anywhere else on CCTV. It's as if she just vanished into thin air. So there has been 2 witness sightings of Georgina since she was reported missing.
Later on that night, a witness come forward and said they'd seen her that night up Clifton Road with 2 very angry guys, one being about 5'7" and one 5'9". One had a side parting and both were slim and with dark hair. He recognised Georgina because she often went in his shop, and he was looking down from above, from a flat above. He knew could guarantee that was Georgina, but he didn't know the 2 other men.
The first being that she was seen outside a Tesco Express off Clifton Road at around 7 PM, and she was talking to 2 males. Both these males had short brown hair and they were between 5'7" and 5'9".
This was later dismissed by the police because they didn't have any other witnesses or information to corroborate this. Also, a few months later, someone had come forward and said that they'd been told that they'd seen Georgina on Broadwater Bridge with 2 guys again, 2 very angry guys, and one appeared to be pulling her along, sort of dragging her up by her arm. When approached by the police for information, this person retracted their statement.
The second sighting of Georgina is that she was possibly seen in Broadwater Bridge, and this was also in the evening. She was seen with 2 males and it seemed like she was being held against her will.
These are the only 2 witnesses that we've had. We've had sightings. The police have had sightings, maybe about 60, but none of them have been confirmed or appeared to be Georgina.
Georgina did have connections to the Brighton area, and she may have been planning to meet a friend and was making her way there. So police do have many theories on what could have possibly happened to Georgina, such as suicide, murder, kidnap, sex trafficking, or even just leaving her family of her own free will.
Georgina has 2 boys. They're 8 and 9. She was a very loving mum, and that's why we find it very difficult to think that she could have just gone off to find a new life, as people suggest. I can't think that at all. I can't believe that she would ever leave her boys. She was very quite she loved her boys so much, and I just don't think that's a possibility. They miss their mummy so much, and always asking, where's mummy, am I going to see my mummy again? And it's hard to try to get 2 boys of that age to understand what the concept of missing, what it really means, because I don't really think they understand. But we hold little candlelight vigils in the house when they come, and light candles of hope for mummy, and we talk about keeping up hope that mummy will come home.
But her family have said it is very unlikely that she would have chose just to leave. She didn't have the capability to do so. She also had a family and 2 sons who she was happy with, so why would she just pick up and leave? It is extremely upsetting for Georgina's family, as they have all these possible answers, but there are no leads that are leading them closer to finding out what happened to Georgina. So Georgina's mother and family feel like they've been let down extremely by the police. Police are not actively searching for Georgina, or are they actively trying to get her home? And this is all because they have no leads, so they are just not trying at all. Andrea has been working day and night with family members, with the public, to get Georgina's case spoken about. She has been spreading missing people posters of Georgina everywhere that she possibly can. Some of these missing people posters have even made it across the world. Georgina's mother, Andrea, has a Facebook page which I will leave down below, so I really urge you to go and like it and share some posts from there. But on this post she has a map of where Georgina's face is in the world, and it is filling up quite quickly. It is amazing, the sheer determination from Andrea to get Georgina's face out there and get her case known about. She has conducted searches of different areas of the country with the help of volunteers. Even when police refused to help them during searches, they still went out in their numbers to search for Georgina. I just have to commend Andrea for everything that she has done. She is such a strong lady to be so vigilant and so trying so hard just to get this case heard about, because it shouldn't be that hard. Missing people's cases should be spoke about and people should be actively searching for them people. When I think of myself in Andrea's situation, I truly do not know how I could be that strong. She is such an amazing lady, and talking to her has broken my heart a few times, but it has totally just changed my mind on everything. It's given me a total different experience on things, and I totally think she's an amazing lady. She is also fighting for police not to just take action with Georgina's case, but take action with missing people cases in general.
And we just want to find Georgina. We just need some, if anyone has any little snippet of information, it might be just the opening to something that leads to something else, but till now we haven't had anything. It's just been 16 months of nothing, and it's really hard. I still can't believe it, really. It just seems very surreal. I get up and I start the day, and I'm either doing posters or thinking where I can put them or how I can get ads out, or just that's how my life is, and that's how it's been since this started. So, you know, I'm just reaching out to people, anybody that might know anything, anybody that might have seen her during this time, or the time just before she disappeared. It might be helpful. You might know something.
Before finishing this video, I'd just like to read something that Angela has said that really has sat with me, and I just think everybody should hear it. And she says, "Where is Georgina? What has happened to her? Was she taken against her will? The police must take this seriously and do absolutely everything they can to find out what happened. With all the missing people in our country, when are we going to learn our lesson and stop pushing missing people aside?" I just want to remind you all to share this video, share the missing people's posters. Let's get Andrea's face out there. And of course, if you know anything, no matter if it's so little or a big thing, no matter what, please contact the number that's in the description box below. I will also pin all the contact details that you must contact if you know anything in the pinned comment below. So please just share this video. I can't say that enough. I really want to try and get Georgina home. Let's get her face out there and let's just get some closure for her family and try and find out what has happened to Georgina. I also really want to thank Georgina's mother, Andrea, for taking part and being so lovely and just being so eye-opening for me as well. It has been really great working with her on this case. We've had a few technical issues, but with all that being said, it has been such a sad but really exciting thing to do for me. So that is all for today's video. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. I'm sorry the lighting's quite bad, but it's got quite late on in the day now. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on that bell so you're notified every time I post, because YouTube doesn't like to tell you when I post, so you're gonna have to turn that bell on. And I shall see you in my next true crime video.